Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up that screen. Cybl, CYBL. I'm going to do an update on my due diligence. I had a couple of questions, and we're going to talk about Cybl here. All right, I showed you my process in the last CYBL video. I'll attach it at the end if you didn't see that, if you want to. Totally up to you. But when I was done with the first phase of it, I had a couple of questions. And this is the second phase. And I told you it's going to take a week, might take two. There's really no time limit on it. It's just me getting comfortable with the stock, finding out enough information if I want to invest in it or not. So when I came out of my first phase of due diligence, I told you I had a couple of questions. Number one, why is this company, which seems to be very profitable, in a penny stock, which is kind of weird. Normally you don't see penny stocks being profitable. Secondly, where are they going to get the money, because they're going to be doing a stock buyback to the tune of like 19.5 million, and it wasn't on the balance sheet. So that was two big questions that I had. So this is part of my due diligence. And like I said, I'm not anywhere near done complete, but I figured I'd go ahead and show you phase two, because when you get two big questions, you obviously want to do some work on them. So here's what I've done so far. All right, so again, you see this pink limited, it's still showing pink limited. And the big problem with that is the OTC has not received enough information or financial information to make them current. So they put the yield sign on them. That's not good for a company, because that scares a lot of investors off, like myself, a lot of people won't even take a look at a company if there's a yield sign. They just won't. Of course, the worst thing could be a skull and crossbones, but I don't see that happening to this company. But yield is not good. And it just basically, again, shows that there's just, they're not happy with the information they got at the OTC markets. So that's an issue. So I wanted to know why. And what I did, I actually had somebody comment to me in the last video and said, hey, watch the Q&A with the CEO and see what he has to say. I think in the last one, he may have spoken to it. So I did that.
I also just want to say that we are filing our OTC amended, gone through the pre-review, and my availability has been a little bit of a lag, which I apologize for. Quite frankly, what we posted was very consistent with everything we posted last year. So it was a little bit of a surprise for us to have any of that issue, but we'll get that cleaned up, and we're going to be posting that and then following up with a PR related to that. Hopefully give all of our shareholders some insight going forward as well. So like I said, it's been a while since we've been able to connect and get a message to you all about what we're doing and where we're going. And I appreciate everybody's questions.
And again, that's Mark Schmidt, President and CEO of Cybl. So that was over an hour long Q&A, and I'm only about halfway through it. I'm going to continue watching it, but it's pretty lengthy and a little bit boring, to be honest, which is the way a lot of Q&As are, or earnings calls, etc. But I'm just working on that. But that explains quite a bit. Sounds like they were surprised. They felt like they had given enough information to OTC, but obviously OTC disagreed. And that's just not good for a company to have that. They clearly recognize that, and they're working hard to get it taken care of. It's real easy to get caught up in the running of a business, obviously, and as opposed to the paperwork, but that paperwork is still really important. So that sort of answers one question. Now I understand why they're pink limited, but that doesn't change the fact that they're still pink limited. So until that's gone, that's a red flag for me, and I'm not going to be satisfied until I see it pink current. But it does sound like they're working on it. All right, second thing was, where are they going to get the $19.5 million? Because normally when you see a stock buyback, there's a whole bunch of money on the balance sheet, which was not the case with Cybl. I think they had just under $2 million, as I recall. I'll double check that in a minute. But it sounds like they're going to take it out of cash flow. So it says here, Cybl announced a share repurchasing program and directs $19.5 million of current and future cash flows to fund the purchase of outstanding shares. And that was in the last 24 hours. And I actually saw that article on StockTwits. Remember I told you sometimes I go to StockTwits, even though a lot of times it's real negative. I'll go there to get information. I'll go wherever it takes to get the information. So Some of the information I got got referred to by comment by a viewer, and thank you for that. And the second was from StockTwits. So pretty interesting. I still would have probably found it in the news, but like I said, it's just a little quicker sometimes. So I'm just kind of taking you on this journey of how I do due diligence and my process of getting these questions answered. I'm still not obviously satisfied with the Pink Limited thing, but I'm going to continue to watch this Q&A, and I'll probably get even more information about the company, because a lot of times you really want to hear from that CEO. Like I said, a CEO is just as important as the product, if not more so, because if he's good, the company's got a good shot. If he's no good, then it doesn't have a shot in hell. Now, as you can see with Cybl, it had that big run up, and I look at that and I'll bet you there's some shorts all over this freaking thing, because it's dropped another 10%, and they probably bought and ran it up, and then they probably are dragging it back. Let's just see. I'll bet you it's getting manipulated. Yep, exactly what I thought. Look here, 57% short yesterday. So they're shorting the crap out of it, and they're manipulating, they're pushing it back down. These are your day traders right here, and they made a bunch of money on Cybl. Let me show you exactly where they made their money. All right, yeah, they bought like crazy right here when the announcement came out about the 19.5 million, and this thing ran from 1.2 cents up to about 2 cents. So they probably made 80% on their money, and now they're shorting the crap out of it and pushing it back down. And they'll probably try to rinse and repeat several times, and they've obviously done that a lot. Here you can see there. That's what shorts do, and they'll push it up, and then they'll drag it back down, and that's how they make their money. Understand, if a stock just kind of goes flat like this and just barely goes up or down over time, they can't do anything with that. There's no money for them there. So to get it moving, they'll short the crap out of it, and that volume being over 50% shows you a lot. So this is clear manipulation. So I'm not surprised by that. I was actually expecting it, and I probably should have shorted it, but I don't short anything. I'll go ahead and tell you. I mean, I know that it would have probably worked out just fine, but I'm not going to do it, because I draw the line. Not going to do it. The other issue that we've got in the market right now is the consumer sentiment is in the crapper. It's never been this low. It's at 50, which is that Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, which everybody in the stock market looks at. It's lowest in 50 years. It's lowest ever recorded. So, basically the American people are pissed off, and they're not happy with this inflation. Wholesale inflation today hit 10.8%, which is massive, which tells you the old inflation numbers were full of crap. So, this really sucks.
This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Yep. I think Beavis has got it right. It sucks. All right, folks, and that's Cybl today. Like I said, I'm continuing my due diligence. I'm just taking you on this due diligence process. If you like this, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to do this. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.